Hello, BookTube. Well, I'm back. To quote from Lord of the Rings, Frida and I are back from our Vermont vacation. We were gone for days. It was wonderful. She was bombarded with new experiences. She's so tired right now that I'm really not sure you're going to see her for a few videos. And we were faded like royalty. It was amazing. And after all that, we come back. It's a beautiful sunny day, and we are now back at Hyde Cottage. And we will slowly, as is the way with vacations, I stopped taking vacations for so long, but it's coming back to me. And you'll all know, because you take vacations, that you have that period. You have that weird adjustment period where you're surrounded by all your stuff, but it feels not only strange, but a bit disappointing. So we're going to reacclimate over the next few days. I'm sure it'll be fine. And as you might imagine, because I was gone for so long in a house that gets nary any books in the mail at all, when I got back here, there were quite a few books, quite a few book packages. Now, I've done my best. I like to accommodate you. I like to do what you want. We're going to try and go through all this mail and see what's what. And I had to break it up. There's no way to do it in one video. I've already strained your patience with the mammoth videos that Mark and I were doing over the long weekend. So I'm going to break this up into two, and because I have been gone so long, I can actually give you the luxury of a mail haul that has not one, not two, not three, not five, but the entire mail haul is boxes. So we're going to do that second. We're going to start with the normal packages first, see if we can get through them in any kind of a reasonable time, and then we'll move straight on to the packages, to the boxes. There's this first one here. It's Waffer Thing, which is not good. It could be a slim volume of poetry or some such thing. It is, of course, well, first one out of the gate, back from vacation, and it is resisting me to the point where I need to cut it open. I hope that's not an omen. I hope that's not an omen. Let's see what we have here. What could be so... Oh. 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 Hey, Zabine, I told them you were out of commission. And here you are. She needs a trim in the worst way. She is as fuzzy as the day is long. But she's so overexcited from this vacation, so overstressed, that I'm going to give her time to decompress before I clip her. She needs her hair clipped really bad. She needs her nails clipped really bad. This is not a slim volume of poetry. It is, in fact, better than any book, because it's a catalog of books. And not only that, but a catalog of my favorite non-Penguin publisher, W.W. Norton. This is their Winter 2020 catalog that will have not only all the new books, but all of Liverite, their imprint of Liverite, which I just love, and it will also have all of their paperbacks. So I won't drag you through. We'll never get through these actual book packages if I drag you through the catalog. Maybe we should make a separate video for that. Now that we're going to end up back in the territory of 5 video days. Now that we're apparently inevitably going to do that. But let's go to the paperback section, see if Steve has blurbed on anything that he wants to be blurbed on. Shall we? There's Michael Lewis's book, The Fifth Risk, which I thought was spectacular, but I didn't end up reviewing it. It's a really important book. It's a book about how the Trump administration is not staffing the government, and how big a risk that really is in the long run. Deep Creek, I didn't review. Lynn Ullman, I did not review. Fault Lines, House of Stone, I did not review. 4:30 Movie, I do. It's also fun for me to see who did review these things and what they said. But I'm not encountering anything that I have reviewed. This is grim. Manual for Survival, I did that, but I think a lot of other people did too, so I probably won't. Well, and you know, the catalog only tells you a couple of the blurbs. The book will have a lot more. One of the things that Mark and I did a lot of while I was up in Vermont was watch library tours by very bookish booktubers. And one thing that I was whining, perhaps a little bit of whining in the old farmhouse's living room, but one thing that I would like to make sure we all get in the habit of when we do book hauls, book tours, library tours of any kind, is in addition to reading the front of the book, the author, the publisher, the title, I want us all to get in the habit of flipping it over, maybe flipping the first few pages to look for Steve in the blurbs. Okay? I think Todd from Todd's Bursting Bookshelf held up a couple of books that have my name printed in them, and yet he didn't look for them because he hates me because I smell. And this is Asperger's Children. Oh, okay. So just on a cursory look, we don't have to go into this at great length. Just on a cursory look, the blurb situation does not look good for Steve. A whole bunch of other people, lowlifes and whatnot, but this has a checklist and everything. Fantastic. So this is going to take a deliriously wonderful hour of my time, but it's not a book. It's not a book. So let's move on. Let's move on to the books. First one is one of these green packages. I remember these. Are these green packages something that's sent from one of you? Is that why I remember this? Let's see. Oh, it is indeed. Oh, will you look at that? Okay, one of you out there. I don't know who. I don't think these things have come with any kind of a note. One of you out there was watching my biography bookshelf tour and saw that I was mentioning on many of those shelf tours that there are books that I don't have. There are all sorts of biographies that I don't have. And one of the ones that I mentioned was Blanche Wiesen Cook's 3-volume biography of Eleanor Roosevelt, which is amazingly good. And if you've been watching my mail hauls, all of my mail hauls, you saw somebody out there sent me Volume 1, and then they sent me Volume 2, and now they have sent me Volume 3 in a hardcover. Will you look at that? That is so nice. And a hardcover probably was marginally expensive. The ironic thing, of course, here is that they sent me Volume 1 and Volume 2 in Penguin Trade paperback, and this is Volume 3 in the hardcover. And the ironic thing is that of all the volumes in the trilogy that I would want in paperback, the third volume would be the one, because I believe that's the one that I reviewed and was blurbed on. So the paperback probably has my name on it. But the hardcover will last a lot longer. So that might have been a strategitic decision on the part of whoever is so kind as to send these things. I don't know who it is, but you know who you are. Thank you very much. What a way to come home. All right, let's crack on, as the Brits say. Let's see what this next one is. We're doing only envelopes this time around, and not boxes. Oh, great. Oh, fantastic. Okay, I have not got to this. This is a September book, yes. Okay, we're right back to that. We took 5 days off from I have not got to this. It's a September book. But we've seen this already. This is The Will of the People by T.H. Breen. And this is we're getting a little bit of late afternoon light here. This is the prize-winning historian raises fundamental issues about the origins of our shared political culture that have long been ignored to tell an original, community-centered story of the American Revolution. And that's fantastic. I actually have a reviewer in mind for this book. It won't be me if she can do it, if she's interested in it, if she reads it and thinks it's worth a review. Those of you who might be new and wondering what the heck I'm talking about, I am, in addition to being a book reviewer, I am also an editor at an online literary journal called Open Letters Review, which is the inheritor, the descendant, the progeny of Open Letters Monthly, and therefore has a very long history behind it. And we do reviews of new books all the time. And I send people out books all the time. A lot of you will know that anyway, because whether you review a book from me or not, I'm still going to want to send you books. But I'm slowly getting the word out that if people want to try their hand at reviewing, they should. And some people who have done that, who've tried their hands, that have been quite good at it. So, and the reason that I bring this up is because I don't pay. Open Letters Monthly or Open Letters Review doesn't pay reviewers except in review copies and publication, credit in publication. And since I don't pay, I don't assign. So I will send someone a bag or a box full of galley copies and let them go through them and decide what they want to review. So we'll see. I'm hoping this one is a yes. And the nice thing is that with Open Letters, I have a bit of a fallback, because if the reviewer says no and I want to review it, I can review it myself. Holy Gewalt. Oh my, what is this? Okay, is this a 2020? Is this 2020? Yes, it is. All right, this is January of 2020. This is How Yiddish Changed America and How America Changed Yiddish, edited by Elon Stavans and Josh Lambert, and containing perhaps the greatest cover of any book that we're going to see in 2020. Extra points to the two of you who can name this in the Yiddish. What is the pub sheets? What on earth is this? Is it possible to conceive of the American diet without bagels? Or Star Trek without Mr. Spock? Are the creatures in Maurice Sendak's Where the Wild Things Are based on Holocaust survivors? And how has Yiddish, a language without a country, influenced Hollywood? These and other questions are explored in this stunning and rich anthology of the interplay of Yiddish and American culture. Okay, I'm all on board. Not right away, of course. I'm not reading any 2020 books in 2019, but I love Yiddish. I love it, and I love, of course, The Chosen People. So I'm all for it in 2020. Wow, how Yiddish changed America, and how America changed Yiddish. All right, what have we got here? Oh my, okay. All right, I don't think I'll be sending this to a reviewer. I think I will do this myself. This is a September release. Yes, September. Yes, this is the finished copy of Tom Lobianco's Piety and Power, Mike Pence and the Taking of the White House. And let's see here. A seasoned political reporter and a regular political analyst on national television and radio, no journalist has reported on Mike Pence for as long or as closely as Tom Lobianco. From Pence's first campaign rally in his hometown of Columbus, Indiana, to the moment he returned to Washington as Donald Trump's vice president, the author has covered Pence for his entire political trajectory, from defeats and distractions in the 1990s to his rapid ascension through the aughts, from the time he nearly sunk his career as governor of Indiana, only to see it miraculously and unexpectedly revived by an unlikely presidential Republican candidate. Okay, well, I'm reading these things. You're not, and I am, so I will get to this. I was asked, Mark did it, and I did a couple of long videos. We talked a lot about books endlessly up in Vermont, and we also did a couple of long videos, including my very first live stream, about book reviewing. And this topic inadvertently came up because people asked, how do you review a book if you don't like it, and if you don't like the subject, don't like the author, something like that. If you've got skin in the game, how do you do it? And this is a perfect example of that. So I'm going to have to find a way to do that. And the first step in that, reading through this book, I didn't read the advanced copy that I have, but the first step to getting my feet underneath me in terms of how to review a book like this, there is no piety connected with Mike Pence. So the title worries me into thinking, and the author has been with him for so long, it's possible that Stockholm Syndrome has set in. And so I'll be watching for that. So one of the ways, the initial ways to get a bead on this book, to know where and when I can put my feet down, is if I'm reading along, do I find the author lying for Mike Pence? Not lying about him, but lying for him, lying to protect him. I know pretty much every detail of Mike Pence's life, and I'm guaranteeing you a lot of them won't be in here. And if the author lies about them, then I'll know right away that this is meant to be a political campaign and not a work of history or a biography. And that will make it easier. That makes it very much easier. You should technically be looking for that kind of thing in any book, even if it's by an author you love on a subject you love. But I will not tolerate it for a second if it's here. What have we got here? Okay, this is also 2020. This comes out in January. This is by Javier Cercas, Cercas, and it's called Lord of All the Dead. Okay, it's Lord of All the Dead, and then look what's underneath it. A nonfiction novel. There's no such thing as a nonfiction novel. Truman Capote can get in line. There is no such thing as a nonfiction novel. He's the internationally renowned author of Soldiers of Salamis and The Imposter, and he has written his most personal book thus far in the riveting Lord of All the Dead. The book is a courageous journey into the secrets and history of his own family, a compelling portrait of 20th century Spain, and a propulsive and riveting narrative investigation. The author, who lives in Barcelona, grew up hearing about the legends of his adored great-uncle Manuel Mena, who died at 19 in the bloodiest battle of the Spanish Civil War, while fighting for Franco's army. Who was this young man? A fascist hero whose memory is an embarrassment, or a committed idealist who happened to fall on the wrong side of history? Okay. So he pieces together the life of this enigmatic figure, and by extension, a whole generation. What is the novel about that? What is... Well, I'll find out next year. I'll find out next year. I would be amazed. Somewhere in this publicity material, Truman Capote's In Cold Blood has got to be mentioned, and that's annoying right there. The book has always annoyed me, mainly for its ham-handedness, but also because of exactly this reason, because of the way it's muddied the waters and in an unacceptable way. But let's move on here. Let's see what this next one is. Okay, this comes out in September. It's right around the corner. Is this a paperback reprint? Oh, it's a paperback original. Okay, so this will be a paperback in September at $18. This is by Paula Becker, and it's called A House on Stilts, Mothering in the Age of Opioid Addiction. So this is going to be, it's going to look just like this. It's going to be a trade paperback in your bookstores. House on Stilts tells the story of one woman's struggle to reclaim wholeness while mothering a son addicted to opioids. Paula Becker's son Hunter was raised in a safe, nurturing home by his writer-historian mom and his physician father. He was a bright, curious child, and yet addiction found him. Horrifying. Within this 10-year crucible, Paula is transformed by an excruciating, inescapable truth. The difference between what she can do and what she cannot do. Oh my. Okay. Well, it's a memoir about the opioid epidemic by the wife of a doctor. So, and by a practiced writer in her own right. So this is published by the University of Iowa Press in Iowa City, Iowa, on the banks of the Iowa River, and it comes out in September. Okay, as a paperback original. I'll read it. I'm not missing. I'm reading a lot of books on the opioid epidemic, and they are pretty grim. Let's see what this next one is here. I've got one of these asbestos packages. I'll do my best not to rip it apart here. What is this? Oh my! Okay, this has got to be a 2020. No, this is October. Okay, this is the new Michael Connelly. This is a Harry Bosch novel, and this comes out in October. This comes right around the time for Halloween. So those of you who, this is called The Night Fire. Those of you who love this series and that character, you've got one of these coming up for the autumn. As the hot days of summer roll along, I'm thrilled to share with you an early copy of The Night Fire, the 21st Harry Bosch novel. Good Lord. Good Lord. Okay, well, I mean, the pub sheet doesn't go into a whole lot of detail about the book because after 21 books, you're on, or you're not. He is a known quantity to his readers, and I like some of the Harry Bosch novels. They don't wow my socks off, but I don't dislike them. So, and this is more for the rest of you, really. I know there are dedicated Harry Bosch fans out there, so now you know there's another book coming out soon. And if you are, I should point out, if you are a dedicated Harry Bosch fan, really love him, read all 20 of those books, have a lot of thoughts on him, and you want to review this book, let me know. Let me know. I can't pay you, but I will send you both the advanced copy and the finished copy in exchange for a good review. Let's see. Oh, okay, we saw this already. This is the finished copy of Tinfoil Butterfly by Rachel Eve Moulton. We saw... It's got a kind of an interesting look to it. It's got an eye peeking out on the spine. We saw the advanced copy of this. This, I think, is a September release. Yes? Yeah, this is a September release. I believe it was... it's a debut. It's... Publishers Weekly says, unrelenting and artfully crafted, this haunting debut and its tortured protagonist easily cement Moulton as a must-read writer in the horror genre. This is Tinfoil Butterfly. The Publishers Weekly, continuing here, says the narrative, both disturbing and irresistible, is propelled by these two well-imagined characters and their need for each other. It's about a troubled young woman and a lonely boy facing their demons in the frozen Black Hills. And I have it, but I have not read it. I'm a big fan of debuts. So some of these, I mean, I'm juggling as I go along, but some of these things, are going, now that I'm back. I'm back from vacation, so I am not going to be talking with Mark and his wife all day long. We're not going to be going on adventures or anything like that. I'm not going to be taking the bean on adventures in totally strange places. So I'm back to reading all day long. They're, getting back into the reading groove. I'm happy. Absolutely. I'm sure that once this weird feeling, the weird twilight feeling that you have when you leave a vacation that you've loved, I'm sure that when that feeling fades and everything goes back to normal, I'll be happy to just dive into all these books and dive into reading all the time and doing nothing, staying on the couch all day long. Oh, great. Okay, we saw this. This is the pretty finished copy. It's another September book. This is the first novel in a new series by Jeffrey Archer. This is Nothing Ventured. It's the first volume in a new series, but it continues his career-long habit of giving his titles cliches, his books cliches for titles. I have never understood that. He's never varied from it. Let's see here. This is the first novel in a new series for readers left wanting more after the conclusion of his best-selling Clifton Chronicles series. This new series introduces William Warwick, a family man and a detective who will battle throughout his career against a powerful criminal nemesis. And we saw this. We saw the advanced copy of this. The thing about Jeffrey Archer, even though he is no Shakespeare, he is no Shakespeare. The derivativeness of having a title, all the titles, in for a penny, in for a pound, nothing ventured, all Cain and Abel, all of it. You go right down the line. They're all cliches. And or idioms. And the reason, the thing that signals from titles like that is that it's not going to be Dostoevsky, that it's going to be very easy airport reading. It's made him a very good career doing that, and it doesn't shoot for anything more than that, so you have to judge it on that yardstick. And sometimes I'm in the mood for that yardstick. Certainly after I read a memoir about a mother dealing with the opioid addiction of her son, I might be in the mood for a Jeffrey Archer. And then we have the last one. So this has not been a very long video. This is part 1 of our vacation mail haul. So this is it's gigantic, but it is the last of these. So not 100% sure that we're going to get to 5 videos today. I did just get back. And also, I don't exactly know when the weird dividing line was between when I was a normal booktuber and when one of many that you watch, and when I was the 5 video a day guy. I don't know when that happened. Let's see. Oh, fantastic. Oh, we end on a high note. Fantastic. I didn't think I was going to get this. I requested it. I requested the advance copy and didn't get it. And then I requested, okay, this is a September book. Oh, it is beautiful. Oh, my God. Okay, this is a worldwide bestseller that has finally come into English, has finally come to America. I don't remember where I first saw it. It might have been on a British BookTube channel or just in a catalog somewhere. I look at non-U.S. catalogs, even though I have all that I can do to keep my nose just barely at water level with U.S. books. So I try not to branch out, but I look at them anyway. It's my version of window shopping. And this is by Jin Yong. It is Legends of the Condor Heroes, Volume 1, and this one is A Hero Born. It's translated by Anna Holmwood, and look at the beautiful job that St. Martin's did on this thing. I want to get this in the light to make sure you see it. This is just gorgeous. Look at that. And this is a worldwide best-selling fantasy novel, if I remember correctly. Let's see here. An extraordinary generational saga and kung fu epic. Jin Yong's Legends of the Condor Heroes is the phenomenon of its era. St. Martin's is pleased to be publishing the series in its 4-volume entirety for the first time in the United States. And the first book stretches from the Song Empire in China, 1200 A.D., to the appearance of a warlord whose name will endure for eternity, Genghis Khan. Fantastic. Oh, how amazing. And the author, Jin Yong, that's the pen name for Louis Cha, was a true sensation in the Chinese-speaking world. Born in mainland China, he spent most of his life writing novels and editing newspapers in Hong Kong. His enormously popular martial arts novels have become modern classics and remain a must-read for readers looking for danger and adventure. Fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. So, what have we got here? This is going to be A Hero Born, A Bond Undone, A Snake Lies Waiting, and A Heart Divided. And it looks like they're going to come out every few months until they're done. So, if you are interested in high fantasy, hold on to the first one, because you're going to want the whole set. Wow, fantastic. All right, well, there's a lot of jockeying going on in just this mail haul for stuff that I'm going to dive into today. Fantastic. This probably wins out over all the others, but we'll see. So that is our first part of the mail haul. These are the non-boxes. This is A Hero Born by Jin Yong. Nothing Ventured by Jeffrey Archer. I'll give you a shiny penny if you can tell me what the next book in this series is going to be called. We have Piety and Power by Mike Pence. Let's see here. Eleanor Roosevelt, the 3rd volume of the Eleanor Roosevelt trilogy. That's just a gift from one of you. How wonderful. The Night Fire by Michael Connelly, a Harry Bosch novel. Let's see. We have How Yiddish Changed America and How America Changed Yiddish. I'm all for it. Then The Will of the People by T.H. Breen. House on Stilts, all about the opioid epidemic. And I like the phrasing, too, there. The addiction found her son. Not he found it. He found his own addiction, but addiction found him. Because it starts early, and you don't know the vectors. Coming away from the house in Vermont, I am renewed with admiration for people who are brave enough to have children. That is just astonishing to me. Then, The Lord of All the Dead, a non-fiction novel. Tinfoil Butterfly, a debut, and also the Norton catalog, the Norton Winter catalog, which I will peruse, I will scrutinize. So that is the first part of our vacation mail haul, and I'm just gonna pause for a stiff rum toddy, and then I will be on to the part 2. I will see you soon. Thank you, BookTube.